welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Absolutely fantastic news coming out of Celtic. Well, we knew it was going to happen, didn't we? Celtic have announced that Mika Bauer has signed for Celtic. He done his first interview already. A quick one, a really quick one from Celtic. It was a 3-minute video. They're getting quicker. Maybe they've not got enough time because they need to. They've got other players that they need to interview as well. You remember, today's the day that Celtic need to get players signed for the Champions League playoff games. Not the Champions League proper, not the full Champions League if we get into it. This is just for the Champions League qualifier games. So we have to have the players signed and registered before 11:59, 12 o'clock tonight. So come on, Celtic, we need another couple of players in before that deadline. There's been numerous links all day, more links than a link sausage. But first of all, I have to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel today, because we have jumped up to 27,839. Come on, let's get to 28,000. Come on, can we get to 28,000 before Celtic play this weekend? Just do it. That would be fantastic if we can get to 28,000 before Celtic play this weekend. But anyway, back to the news, because let's jump into the comments and tell me what you think about what has been going on at Celtic the past 24 hours. Michael says, get the Bucky tanned and get on. Like we're going to get into Bucky. I don't even know where I could get it these days. No idea. We still need a winger and a left back. Celtic have been linked with numerous wingers over the last 24 hours and central midfielders, and obviously the Canadian that we have been linked with as well. There's no use going through every single one of them. Let's just enjoy the fact that Celtic have signed Mika Bauer after, it seems like we've been after him the whole summer. Mika Bauer today became the latest addition to Martin O'Neill's squad when he joined from the Germans Bundesliga side. On a 4-year with an option of another year. Celtic seem to be, rather than putting them on 5-year deals now, they're putting them on 4-year deals, because it was all the rage last year, wasn't it? I mean, Michelangelo Balak-Wisha got 5-year deal. So they're putting him on 4-year deals with the option of another year. The 22-year-old midfielder is looking forward to life at Celtic, and he explained that one of his fellow countrymen had a role in getting him to paradise. Nico Kuhn! He says, I'm in the same agency as Nicholas Kuhn. So I called him and asked him a couple of questions. He was so positive about Celtic. He says, if you have the chance, just do it. Get in there. And we all thought that Nico Kuhn hated us. We all thought that Nico Kuhn absolutely hated Celtic. But there you go. Nico Kuhn loves Celtic. He says, if you've got the chance, go to Celtic Park. You'll love it. It's one of those things that you have to experience it in football. He says he couldn't explain it. He says, but you have to feel it. He told me it was incredible. After I had the call from him, I was sure the new boy is already aware of how big Celtic are and the fan base, especially on European nights at Celtic Park. He's also looking forward to the experience that himself, as early as next Wednesday. Come on. Now I'm feeling confident. I wasn't feeling confident about the upcoming European games, but we're getting players in and we're making a difference and we're doing it. It might be later than what we wanted. Yes, we all wanted them in pre-season. We wanted them in early so they could settle down. Every player could find their feet, get into the groove and then smash this game next Wednesday night. And this time next Wednesday, we might be thinking to ourselves, we've got an uphill struggle when we go to Austria. But anyway, he says that he watched Celtic on TV on home at the couch. He says you could feel it. He says the emotion in the stadium. That's what I'm here for. Firstborn Durchstechnik. Some German techno as well. If you've ever been to Berlin, head to Tresor in Berlin. It's an old industrial facility that's a nightclub. It's absolutely a banging club. It's been there for years. But anyway, if you're into a bit techno, and you're in Berlin, head to Tresor. Anyway, he says that that's why everyone is playing football. You want to play in big stadiums. You want to play in front of a big crowd. That's the difference. I think I'm ready for it, so I'm so looking forward to it. It's the type of player that Celtic have been crying out for. We've been crying out for players in the midfield. Now that we have him, he's got the number 22 shirt. Celtic have also been looking at other midfielders and a player to cover for Alistair Johnson, because there's some bad news tonight as well when it comes to Alistair Johnson. But it's good news! Good news and bad news. It looks like Alistair Johnson's going to be out until around September. Looks like he is he's out. He's had another injury. What does Celtic do with Alistair Johnson? He's had another injury. I mean, we know that we need to bring some player in. Sideline till after the international break in September, which is around about 6 weeks. It's not ideal for Alistair. It's not ideal for Celtic, because we're going to have some important games. You're talking about the beginning of the Champions League at that point. If he's out for 6 weeks, he could be sidelined for 9 matches during a busy period at the start of the season. The 2 games against Lask, the cup game this weekend, and then the first derby game as well, if I mind right. But anyway, the timing is a big call for the likes of Martin O'Neill. We do have Colby Donovan, but he's not really the answer long term, is he? And Tony Ralston, we do have him, but Celtic are looking to bring in a Canadian that could slip right into that position. So all eyes on Celtic. We might not need him for this. Well, you never know. Celtic might just get the finger out today. And I need to slow my talking down, because I've got a client who's from England, and I came off the live this morning. As you know, I was completely buzzing, and I was speaking away to him, and he's from Kent, so he has no idea when I get full on, like, in flow, and I need to calm down a bit, because when I came off the live this morning, I was like, and he's like, mate, I've no idea what you're saying. Oh, Jesus. Anyway, let's jump into some of the comments this morning. At least he's staying. Yeah, at least he's staying. Hopefully this Bauer is good. Well, he's come from the second tier in Germany. He's got the a lot of people saying Alistair Johnson injured again. Could be a blessing in disguise. Could be. Thunderdome gets done there. Does it? Thunderdome, does it? At Trésor nightclub. I don't know. Hats off to Martin O'Neill. He's playing a blinder. Big shout out to Martin O'Neill, and I'm glad to see that Martin O'Neill's back looking healthier than ever. I've got to admit, when I saw him in Portugal, up close, as I was right behind the dugout in Portugal, I was thinking to myself, he looks frail. But when you see that video that Celtic put out today, he looks a lot healthier. So he's obviously had underlying health issues for a while, but it's fantastic that Martin O'Neill is back and is looking really healthy. So it looks like he will be fine for the season. So we can just stop all the chat about who to get in if Martin O'Neill doesn't cope with the season. Let's just touch wood that he has a fantastic season. But anyway, looking at Martin O'Neill, and he's definitely, it looks as if he needed that rest, and whatever it was that got done in hospital, it's done him the world of good. So there's a big shout out to Martin O'Neill, and he's looking awfully healthy now, isn't he? Just in time for another season of scalping that lot. Anyway, Danny Cassie's just done a super chat. Thank you for that. Oh, that Michael, that's a bit below the belt, that one. And now we go with Donovan at right back against Lask. Yeah, let's go down the negative road today. Fair play to the board. I put up the post. I put up this on social media today as well, and it seems to have went down a hoot. Because Celtic are spending, and they're not only spending, they're bringing in decent quality players. Anyway, when we get back to the Celtic news, it is disappointing for Alistair Johnston that he's out. The thing is, as well, he did ask to go to Everton. Everton, I wonder if will they just say like, no, that's it, we're pulling the plug. We're pulling the plug on the fact that he is injured. He's gone and injured himself. Everton retain Alistair Johnston interest despite cooling talks that's coming out of England. They obviously don't know that he's injured. Yeah, that's nonsense article because they don't know that he's injured. I'm not really worrying about the Everton stuff now, but I'm more worried about where Celtic are. Celtic would have put into place, if we lose Alistair Johnston, we bring in this player. Do we still do that? Do we still go into the market and push the likes of Tony Ralston further back? Let's see. Delighted Celtic, I've got their one of their number one targets. Yep, it's crazy, isn't it? Is the Chelsea boy signing? Well, he was at Celtic. He was at Lennoxtown today, so we're waiting to see if Celtic are going to put out any more information. It looks like it might happen later on tonight for Celtic to get this one done. But you know what Celtic are like? They'll get it done and dusted today. They'll get the signature done, and then they'll maybe put it out tomorrow. But he'll be in the squad because it was done yesterday, rather than Celtic waiting a couple of hours and go, boom, there's another player. And they might surprise us and put out a third, but I don't think so. Big shout out to the Crow's Tails. If we don't qualify for the Champions League, our board will never, ever spend cash again. We've got the players. We just need the result now. Oh, we do, don't we? Mate, thank you for the super chat. Crow Tails. Reminds me of the Crow's Nest, which was up in Einster, which was frequented by Alex Ferguson, and it was Edith, what's her name, that used to be on the telly. It was her mum and dad that run it. Yeah, Anderson. Yeah, he's been at Lennoxtown. The fact that he's out now for a few weeks might work in our favour, and he'll stay. Yeah, it might work in our favour, but we really need to bring in a good quality player. Because let's face it, Colby Donovan, he's a good player coming through the system, and he's a great backup, but he's not Champions League quality. Tony Ralston, been to the World Cup, he's a big game player. Does Tony Ralston then get promoted in front of Colby Donovan? What does that say to Colby Donovan? Because he's thinking that he's there. That's his. He's there after Alistair Johnston. So do you just go with the fact that Tony Ralston gets promoted? Oh, it's a hard one. Martin O'Neill's got a lot of thinking to do. And do Celtic just go out and go, bugger it, we spend the cash? And Alistair Johnston's basically told, look, mate, it's fallen through in this window due to the injury. Christmas window. It would be prudent of Celtic. This would be back to Ange Postecoglou's style. Get a player in now because we need him now. You would have to get him in today. I don't know if Celtic will be able to do anything this late on. It's just unfortunate that Alistair Johnston got injured this week, but it's always the risk at Celtic, isn't it? Now, the fact that we've been talking to the other Canadian, can Celtic get that deal done today? Can they get him? I don't think so. I mean, Mika Bauer flew into the country last night to get the deal done today. Anyone else at this late stage, and it's you're going to have to just pee with the tadger you have. Still need a goalkeeper. Yeah, we still need a goalkeeper. James says starting with Colby as long as Hassan gets back to help him. You're not really wanting Hassan to get back to help him, though, are you? You're wanting Hassan to just be on the front foot and going for it. So, I don't know. Did Alistair Johnston come back too early to seal his World Cup place, and now we have to deal with the consequences? And I don't think so, John. I don't think so. I think he was... because it was touch and go whether he would actually make the World Cup squad, wasn't it? Due to his injury. And he never really played much football at Celtic before the end of the season, so I don't think so. But we'll wait and see. John Shirley's in the house tonight. Baz Engels, when he goes for big bucks. Casper Ho said to Martin, why don't you buy two quality players for where you bought me, Bodo Glimt? There we go, says John Shirley. I'm just trying to read some of the comments. Danny Cassie's in the house. He says, get Big Ralston. Big Ralston to go. Can we add 2 more to the Champions League list up to 24 hours before kickoff? Yeah, we can. So we've got to get the initial squad. We can add 2 wild cards as it is, isn't it? Before the game. Maybe Celtic will get into action this weekend. Maybe they'll get the squad in tonight. And we'll wait and see what happens then. Celtic need to do something. It's too an important part of the season for Celtic to just run without Alistair Johnston. I mean, he's a good player. I mean, we managed towards the end of the season. Do you know, Alistair Johnston came back late. But Bauer's been... That's the comment of the day. That is... that's the comment of the day. Bauer's been sitting at the airport for a month. It seems like that, doesn't it? Danny Cassie says that we're still going to win the treble. And they've known for weeks Everton wanted Johnson, so they should have had a replacement identified. I think we've got him identified. I think it's just because the bid that came in for Alistair Johnson was low, nothing really happened. You know, so we just need to wait and see. Only 6 more players to go. Let's get Nick Pope, Greg Taylor, Canadian spit boy, and another centre back, a right winger, and a new right back, and then send Colby out on loan. I don't think that we should, Liam. How are you? I don't think that we should send Colby out on loan. I think that Colby has done his stints of that. I think he deserves the place in the squad. And I think that he deserves to be in the team. I think you will get more out of Colby Donovan, unless you're putting him to an Aberdeen or someone like that. I don't think that it's worthwhile putting him out on loan. I would rather keep him at Celtic in case he gets injured on anything. I would rather keep him at Celtic, have him training with the first team. He knows the intensity of the training that's at Celtic, which isn't the same at other clubs. I mean, there's no way it's the same. And then get him playing in the cup games. I mean, use Colby Donovan for the game this week. We're going to have to. But Colby Donovan gets the Dundee United game, cup game. And then it gives you time. It gives us at least a week to try and get another player in. Well, it doesn't really. It gives us days. Because it's next Wednesday that the Champions League qualifier is. So Celtic will be working overtime. And it's got to say that Michael Nicholson, there's one thing, he'll be in a sweat. Anyway, a big shout out to all the new subscribers. We are getting there. Can we get to 28,000 before the game this weekend? We're on 27,842. Right, we've got to jump back into the comments. We're laughing up front, says James. Still weak. Katie is one injury away from having Scales and Ralston as fullbacks, I fear, especially in the Champions League. James, you were saying that the whole of last season about Kieran Tierney. Kieran Tierney... So I just getting a message coming through just about Johnston. What's up? Sorry about that. Yeah, you were saying that last year about Kieran Tierney. I think that Kieran Tierney will be fine this season again. Kieran Tierney came back. You're not paying someone 50 grand a week to no play him every week. And we need someone as backup to him. A lot of squad rotation in a big... If you're a big club, we're this close to being back in the big time. And when you're in the big club, when you're in the big league, you have squad rotation. You have players that will play week in, week out. You have players that will be brought off with 10, 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, to give the younger ones a chance, because you know that the younger ones are going to be given the cup games. And that is important. And I think that he'll be fine this season. Roger says Holt, Duran, Hassan and Bauer will all be sold in less than 2 seasons. Celtic have to start again and again. They're just in the door. Let's enjoy them. They're just in the door. Come on, let's just enjoy it. Look, if he's been given a 4-year deal with the option of another one, how long of a deal was Nico Kuhn given at Celtic? Because he was told when he signed the contract that, look, it's 2 years and we'll turn you over. If that's what we've got to do to get players in, it's paramount that the likes of Colby Donovan gets game time and is retained at Celtic. We know the model. And if that is what's going to happen, you have to have players that are long-term Celtic players like Colby Donovan, and he has to get better and better. And he's only going to get that with game time. We need a starting centre-back and a competition for a goalkeeper. Danny Cassidy says, well, so I agree with you, Baz. Greg Taylor going to the Huns. Lol, don't believe it, says the Daily Shite. Can't see that. Would Greg Taylor cross the divide just to make his dad happy? Oof. He went to Greece and played second fizzle, so who knows? There we go. Jeremy Corbyn's been signed for the left wing. I'm not believing that. For starters, right. It's just a quick one just now because I will be back on later today because we're still at least one player away from what we need. And there is a player at Celtic. Taylor to Hearts? Ooh, don't think about that one. Paul Baird would love it if it does happen though, doesn't it? I will be back later tonight. Hopefully Celtic will announce another player this evening, just so that it settles us down nicely for the weekend. But we'll just wait. We'll just wait and see. Anyway, just go and get Jackie McNamara back. Nah, he's far too into his agent stuff, isn't he? Jackie McNamara. He probably makes more as an agent than he did ever as a football player. Anyway, catch you all in a couple of hours' time. Have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans, wherever you are. All